Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And tonight, just something a little bit different. There's been a couple requests for a video that is kind of a slow walk through the game, or slow play through the game. And I went back and I found the original game video I did, which is my first one, is a video number 3, uh, a while ago. And I watched some of it, and it's like, okay, I've done a lot of videos since then. I hope they're better. I like the setup better now. But anyways, I wanted to do kind of a slow play through a video and just kind of explain things as they happen. So what I'm going to try to do in this is play it with the roller that I use, and just up front, the roller that I use is I can't share it. It's just there's a lot of complexities in it and a lot of different things with stats. I have a generic roller I think that you guys can connect to and download that. And then I'm going to play some that way, and then I'm going to play some with Andy Lewis's flipper that he's created for this game, which I've never done. And so, talk about slow play, I'm going to figure it out while we go. But really, this is just to kind of go through the game, do some of the play. It's not going to be a full game. It's going to be a part of one, just to kind of go through, get you guys a sense of how the game plays out, what to look for in the game, and how it goes. So, uh, picked a couple of teams from Liga MX. So the new series Necaxa is out on Hulu, and I've seen, I think, the first 3 episodes of it. It's the Eva Longoria. She is invested in Necaxa and is talking about their story, kind of like Welcome to Wrexham. Uh, Ryan Reynolds and Rob Mack are part of this, part of the investment team. But it's good. And their videos. If you haven't seen Welcome to Wrexham, I highly recommend it. Necaxa, same thing. It's of soccer, and it's really cool. It's a good behind the scenes look at soccer. Plus, there's comedy to it, but it's real life. It's drama, and it's kind of neat. So Tijuana, closest team to us before San Diego FC got put into play this year. So we're gonna do that, and it's gonna be a game back, I think, April 4th, 2025. So I'm gonna use those lineups again, not playing the game, not really keeping track of much, just kind of playing the game out. First thing when you play is the setup. I have the cards here in Excel, so I take the cards, I create pictures for each player, put it into Excel. But what you would do is print out the sets, cut them up, cut them into each team, and you lay your teams out, 10 players and a goalie. And you can put your subs on the side or whatever. Keep the team cards handy because there's stats on there that you're going to need. What I do is the home team's on the left, the away team's on the right, and that's just how I learned. That's how I play it, and I've played so many games that's natural to me. I also go in positions 1 to 10, defensive to offensive. So my more offensive players, and I have a sort that I use. It's position, defensive rating, offensive rating is how I sort out the players. So your better offensive players are at the top, like they would be in a game at the position 10 or forwards. Your defensive players in the back, it doesn't matter. It ultimately doesn't matter. Everything is ultimately random. Um, there is a little bit of an effect having your defensive players on the lower numbers, but it's minor. But it helps you play the game and visualize what's happening in the game. So you put your lower players down the bottom, your defensive players down at the bottom, your offensive players at the top. Looking at the cards that I create, let's see if I can do this here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oops, I don't want to do that. Just looking at some of the cards, some of the basic ratings. These are in some other videos, the 101 video, the 201 video. So I don't want to spend a lot of time with that here, but you can see the basic settings of the cards. Some shot numbers at the top, on and goal numbers. We'll talk about that when we get a shot. Their endurance rating, yellow card ratings, so whether they can get a red card or not, defensive rating, and a foul rating. Then all of the other play ratings are here. On the bottom is their offense rating, which is just a number to say how good offensively the player is, and the aerial rating if you want to play with aerial battles. Goalies have similar. They have an on column, which you'll use if a shot's on target, and then they have an off column. So if the shot is off target, there's an adjustment to the other team when they make a shot on the on target versus not. You also have the PK adjustment and yellow card and how many games they played. So again, those are all in the 101 videos. They're also, I have some other videos. It's a custom card overview video that really talks about the cards I create, which are different than the original cards. So we have original sets by David Troppins, and you have the ones that I've created. I played the game a lot, and David stopped making the sets and or paused making the sets, and so I figured out how to make these, and I was doing them kind of with the adjustments that I use to play the game, and then eventually David said, "Yes, I can start publishing out." That's why they're free. I make them they're free. I just want people to play the game. So if you go to the Delphi forum, if you go on the Facebook forum, you'll find links to get to where the sets are. There's about 100 sets now available. Lots of leagues, 21 leagues. So lots of stuff. And if you watch my videos, you know I have two dogs that want to get in here. So hold on one second. What's funny about that is I don't close the door all the way. So Rooney is smart enough to know to push the door open and come in. Peanut never figured that out. But Peanut's the one that likes to hang out with me the most. Rooney likes to play. So she's out there bothering my wife somewhere. Anyways, so they have the game set up. I also have score sheets. You're going to want a score sheet. There's one available that you can download on the Delphi forum. It doesn't look like this, but it's going to do the same thing. It has timing on there. Allows you to put your lineups and keep some stats. And then you need to have a way to, let me make sure this is in there right. Okay, there we go. You need to have a way to roll the dice or roll. This is a dice driven game. There aren't a lot of charts. The charts I have are on this screen basically, so they're, you probably not see it because I have the full thing. But it's a dice driven game. I use a flipper for it. I use Excel. I've always used Excel for this game. When I first started playing, I went through the Delphi forums a lot, just looking through the different things, and someone had posted a very generic roller that was pretty much almost the top of this set. This looks like the original first roller I ever saw. And so that part, then I added on these extra numbers. Then I added on some more stuff, and I added on some more stuff. As I played through literally thousands of games, I add, it's like, oh, this would be cool, I can add that. So let's go ahead and get started with the game. The rules state that the home team gets the opening kickoff. I do a random roll, so I have some extra numbers here. You can do that however you want. Whoever doesn't get the opening kickoff, the other team gets the kickoff in the second half. Time in this game is managed by a roll, by the possession roll. So you have the possession roll here. That is going to determine what team gets the ball on open rolls, and then it's also going to determine time. On a roll of 1 to 4, or roll of 1 to 4 or 18 to 20, the time will advance by 1 minute. That's on open plays, not on shot resolution. I have all my shot resolution done here, so I don't have to roll again. It's all done within one roll. Same thing with the flipper, with Andy Lewis's flipper. So all the rolls for one play are on one turn. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What I do is I look at the extra 20. It's an extra number. You can do whatever you want. I do 1 to 10 is home, and 11 to 20 is the road. So on that one, 18, that means the away team is going to get it. The way I read these cards, the way I read the rolls, on this roll here on the left, that's on the home side, and this is, actually, you know what I do? That's on the offense side, and that's the defense side. So yes, that's how I do it. Offense, defense. How do you even think about how I play? So you have, this is the core of the game here, the possession number. Then you have the reading that you're going to read off of which player in these areas, offense or defense. Looking at the cards, 11 to 67 is going to be an offensive ratings read, and 68 to 88 are going to be defensive. So the away team gets the ball, but the number is a 75, which means it's going to be a defensive read on player 3. So if I look at player 3 here, that is Porozo, 75 is a takeaway. So the TKW is a takeaway. His range is 72 to 86. That number falls in that range. It's a takeaway for Porozo. The takeaways. The original game had tackles and interceptions, so it had them split out as different things. I combined the two because I wanted space to put the logos. I think the logos on the cards look really cool. I also have regular cards and large cards. These are the regular format. The large format, if you watch some of my latest videos, you'll see how those look. They're really cool. So that's a takeaway. So this roll is going to go to Tijuana. So Tijuana is going to get this roll because they just took away the ball. So let's do the next roll. It's a 14, which doesn't matter unless you're looking at time. So that's the only thing that matters for it because Tijuana already has it. The roll is a 25. That means it's going to the offensive team. Remember, 11 to 67, position 4. So Gomez, 25. This is a shot. Good. So we already have a shot attempt. So it's SH question mark. Not just because it falls in the shot range doesn't mean it's a shot. It's a shot possibility. So there's 3 things you got to check. First thing, okay, so it's in the range. You got to check to see if the defender or the defense stops the shot from happening. So the defender is position 4. You look up his defensive rating, which is a 2. That's out of a 20 possibility. So 2 is very low. It's not a good defense, especially for a defensive player. Well, he's a mid defense. But anyways, 2. So you got to see if the shot stop roll, I say shot block, it's not technically a block, it's a shot stop. Is that number less than or equal to the defender? So the defender is a 2, that's a 17. It's higher, so the shot is going to happen. This is not going to get stopped. So Gomez is going to get a shot. Now you check if it's on target or not. That reading is a 20. So 20 on target, take the goalie's adjustment. So every shot happens the same way. Take the number, adjust it by the goalie, which is -1, so that's 19. Check that against the attacking player, the shooter. His on rating has to be higher than your final on target roll. So that plus the goalie adjustment. So the goalie adjustment, put that as a 19, it's 11, that's an off target shot. So if he had a, well, actually, sorry. Let me stop. Let's redo that. It's 20. You take the -1 from the shooter's rating. Sorry, not from the number. So that the 20 stays. The 11 -1 of the goalie makes it a 10. So if his shot rating was a 21, -1 would have been 20, would have been on target. Anything above that. So, sorry. Trying to talk and play at the same time. Didn't work. Goalie's adjustment adjusts the shooter's on rating. Off target. Okay, so that's 2 steps. Is it stopped? Is it on target? And then what is the shot? You're talking about shot power or shot accuracy. Not accuracy, but what's the shot? The shot roll is a 12. This is out of 100. Same with the on target, out of 100. So a 12 is pretty low. Then you put the shooter's goal adjustment, which is -40. He didn't score a goal. He did have a shot on target, didn't score a goal, so it's -40. So that ends up being a -28. So you're not going to score a goal with -28. Anyway, so you get that number is -28, and you look at the keeper, his off-target rating, 1 to 67. That also includes below 1, so he's going to get a counter. Let's review. Shots, important, very important part of the game. Comes in the shot range. You check the defense if they stop it. You check if it's on target using the goalie's adjustment to the shooter's on rating. Then you check to see what the shot number is. The higher, the better. So 100 is great. -28, horrible. So after that, you read the goalie if it's on target or off target. This one's off target. It's a counter. What that means is they get the ball on the next roll. So a counter means they get the ball. So Necaxa gets the ball. 557. So 5 doesn't, still we haven't had an open roll yet. 57 is going to be an offensive rating on number 5. That's a P. When P's happen, nothing. It's just a play. The ball goes back and forth. Nothing really happens important in that time frame. So P is just play, pass, whatever, nothing. So you roll. Now we have an open roll. 16. Remember, 1 to 11, that's our starting possession for this one, is the roll of 16. That's going to go to the away team. 54 is under 67. That's an offensive roll. Position 9, 54, another P. Home team gets the ball, but it's a defensive rating, so that 74 comes to the Necaxa side. So Tijuana gets the ball, Necaxa gets a defensive roll, 74, they take it away, and so now Necaxa gets the ball on the next roll. So possession doesn't matter. 738 is a P+. Okay, so P+ is that team gets to keep possession, plus they have some adjustments to shots if they happen. So there is a chart in the rules. It's the changes on P pluses, on corner kicks, on free kicks. So when the away team has the ball, you get a plus 10 on shots, on your shot number. So whatever the rule is here, you get a plus 10. A home team gets plus 20. You also get a little bit of adjustment if it's on the on target roll. So 738 is a P plus. Necaxa keeps the ball. 952. No matter what they get the ball, unless it's a defensive roll, they're getting the ball. So they're going to get it until something happens. So 952. Defensive roll 1087. That's a P, so nothing happens with that. They keep it. 234. They still keep it. 618, and there's a foul. So Pallavicino gets fouled because it's in the foul range. Who fouls him depends on how you do it. I have a random rating against the foul rating, but that's not how the game's played. It's the number of the defender that comes up. So that'd be position 5. Joe Corona would get the foul. So he fouls Pallavicino, and it's a free kick to Necaxa. The other things to look at, if they come up or not, we'll see. You have these foul 5, foul 4, 3, 2, 1. These are potential fouls. So let's look at Rosero here. He has a rating for each one. If the number is rolled into that rating, let's see if I can do this. If it's rolled into this ratings in here, you will check the defender's foul rating. So for example, if it was a foul 5, let's say I rolled a 16 or 17 on this card. It's a foul 5. And the defender is Gomez. His foul number is a 3. That wouldn't be a foul. The foul number has to be equal or higher. So 18 is a foul 4. Still not a foul for Gomez. But foul 3 it is. Foul 2 it is. Foul 1 it is. Okay, so that's how the foul numbers work. At this point, you have a free kick. So Necaxa has the ball. It's a free kick. There's an advantage to the shot if they get a shot. That's a 71. There's a defensive roll, and that's another takeaway for Tijuana. So Tijuana has it. A shot attempt for more. So let's go through the shot again. It's in the shot range. First thing you check is the defender. Position 5 is a 2. And the shot stop is a 2. So he stops that from happening. Plays over. That's it. It's dead. Not dead, but now you have an open roll. If he had, let's say, a 2-star, which I don't see anyone out here. If it was a 2-star, that would be a takeaway. So the star next to a defensive rating or a foul rating would be a takeaway. So he stops that shot, 2-star. Let's say he doesn't stop it, would have been on target. So the roll is a 90. Mora's on rating is a 30 minus 129. That would have been off target as well. Okay. Open play. We're going to read the possession number, which is a 16. That is the defensive number. 755 is a P. 223, P plus? No, P star. Okay, so we already talked about P plus. P star means that team gets to keep possession. There's no offensive advantage other than that it's not an open roll. They get possession on the next roll. So Tijuana has the ball. Unless you roll a defensive roll or get stopped somehow. 481 is a takeaway for Necaxa. 145 is a P. Remember, P nothing. 15 is an open play. That is the visitor accepted, or the away team, but it's an 85, which goes to defense. And that's a takeaway by Boya. Tijuana has it. 352 P. 316. Okay, there's a foul 5. So Porozo gets a foul 5. The defender, position 10, is a foul 5, so it's a foul. Only foul 5s would get a foul called on them for that. So Badaloni fouls Porozo. 547 is a P. 587 is a P. So defensive Ps, there's a couple ways to play it. Officially, a defensive P is just a P. It means nothing happened. The kind of prevailing wisdom right now is a defensive P is actually like a missed tackle. And I've played that way before, and I'm not playing that way now, but there are people that are. David Troppins, who created the game, does play that way. And I'm thinking of going back to it, but right now I'm in the middle of a tournament, so I'm not going to do that yet. But a defensive P is just that. It's a P, nothing happens, open roll. 752 P. 327 is a P plus, so they get the ball with offensive advantage unless something happens. So a 987, that's a P on the defense, so nothing. 632, there's a shot. So Pallavicino has a shot possible against position 9, which is a 0. So he's not going to stop this from happening. If he did stop it from happening, that would end the P plus or the P star. But he doesn't, so it's a shot. So what do we check next? On target, 87. Pallavicino is a 30 plus 3 on the Tijuana goalie, so 33 doesn't. That's off target as well. A couple more rolls here, then we'll change gears a little bit. 215, foul 5 against position 8. That's a 3. That's not a foul. 873, taken away by Mora. 872, taken back by Paradella. And okay, good. 773. So Castaneda gets an IS question mark. If that comes up on the defensive roll, an IS means it's an interception shot. So basically it's a takeaway with a possible shot. So you go through the shot sequence on ISs. So 73 is a possible shot. That's position 7. Now the defender flips to this side, which is the offensive player, because the defense take it and is getting the shot. Position 6 is a 2. Does he stop the shot? No. That's a 5, so he doesn't stop it. So then we check the on-target rating. He's a 29. Minus 1 is 28. The roll is 63. Off target again. Then we check the shot number. 65 minus 7 is 58. That is in the counter rating. So let's go over a couple other things, because I don't know when it's going to happen. If the number is above the counter rating, that goes to normal. So counter means that team gets to keep the ball. Off target shots or on target. Counter means that team, the goalie's team, keeps it on the next roll. Normal means one of two things. Officially, again, it's just an open roll. So you do an open roll and either team can get it. I play it with an aerial battle. So you'll see here I have an aerial rating. That's position 9 versus position 3. This is also on Andy's flipper that you'll see here in a minute. So on normals for the goalie, I'll do an aerial rating that's position 9, which his aerial rating is a -2. Against position 3, his aerial rating is a 0. The defense wins it. Or Necaxa wins it. The away team does. If there's a tie in those two, I always give it to the home team. So that's one way to give a bit more home field advantage, home team advantage. Any ties go to the home team. But the away team wins that one, they get the roll. Let's also talk about if it's on target. What are the different roles on target? You have the same ones, the counter and the normal. Those are played the same way. If it's in the counter range, they get to keep the ball. If it's normal, I do an aerial battle. You can get yellow cards against the goalie if it's in the yellow card range. Own goals against the goalie happen here. If the goalie gets fouled, that can happen here. Also, which I don't have on these cards, are rebound shots. A rebound shot is basically going to be the next roll is going to be a shot for the other team, not the goalie's team, the other team. It's going to be a shot. It's a timed roll, so you roll the dice again. If the possession number goes in there, it's a timed roll, but it's an automatic shot to whoever the position comes up for against the defender. So it's played out as normal. It's a shot, the offensive player versus the defensive player, and you resolve the shot. That's a rebound shot. Rebound shots can also happen on penalty kicks as well. Injuries can happen. If you get really close to a goal, it's an injury. You'd roll a random number to determine whether it's the home team or the away team, and then a 1 to 10 to see who gets injured. That would add time to your stoppage time. It adds 2 minutes to stoppage time if there's an injury. You got to take that player out and sub them in. And then anything above that goal rating or above is a goal. So for Necaxa, it's a 69 or above, and Tijuana's a 72 or above. Okay, a couple more things we're going to cover. It hasn't come up yet, but we're going to do this just so I can show it. The corner kick rating, which is the one rating that one of the couple that hasn't shown up yet. Corner kicks on my cards, an 11 is always a corner. So if this 8-sided die comes up as an 11, it's always a corner kick. And that also allows you to play the plus-minus customization. So plus-minus, I'm not going to go into really big detail here. That's in the 201 video, I think. My net results 201. But that allows players to either be a plus or a minus, which can add to the possession number here. And there's different ways to play it. Get on the Delphi forum and look at it. Ask questions. There's several people play it different ways, but it adds some variability to the players and to the teams in the game, which is kind of cool because it can do that. So 11s are always a corner. Any other corner rating that's above 11 will always be checked against the defensive corner kick rating. So let's say I rolled a position 5, 13. I have to now check the corner kick rating, which the defense's team here, you'll see it on the team cards, it's a 26. So you will check the defense corner kick roll to see if it's actually a corner kick or not. You can check the extra 100 if you used the generic roller. Is also one of the Andes flipper. So 1 to 26 is not a corner. Anything above that will be a corner. Same thing for penalty kicks. If you roll into the penalty kick range, say, I'll talk about the split rating here in a second. If you roll into the penalty kick range, so I'd say I roll a 24 with a 2 as the extra number. Check the defense's penalty kick rating. And the same concept. Roll a 1 to 100 and see their penalty kick defense is up 48. 1 to 48, no penalty. 49 and above is a penalty. So that's how penalties work. Offsides is, I think, the last thing that we haven't, well, there's a couple more we haven't talked about. Offsides, if you roll in that offside rating, it's an offside. The other team gets the ball in the next roll. Let's talk about split ratings because this is important. And this is always one of the big questions of how is it played out. So looking at these cards, and again, these are all talked about in the 101, 201 videos, but I'm going to talk about it here. A split rating, let's look at Badaloni here. We're going to look over in here at his shot range. 26 to 55/6 is his shot range. So that means if you roll a 26 to 54, it's going to be a potential shot. So that's a big shot range, but 26 to 54. If you roll a 55, you have to check an extra 1d10 to see if it falls in that range. It's a 6, so 1 to 6 will fall into a shot range, but a 7 to 10 is out of the range. So that's what that extra, those split ratings are. You're going to see them on yellow cards. You're going to see them on offsides. You're going to see them on penalty kicks. Several of the numbers have those split ratings, and that's just how you read them. So you do an extra check, a 1d10, to see if it falls in that rating. Last thing that I don't think I covered here is own goals, 85-2. So again, he has a split rating. So if I roll an 85, 1 to 2 is an own goal, and 3 to 10 is not. And that's it. That's how the game is played. So let's try something here a little different. And I don't even know if this is going to work. It's probably not. I don't even know what this looks like here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, this might look a little odd. I had to get to fit my screen. Didn't even think about that. So this is the Andy Lewis's flipper. And you're going to see some of the similarities to the roller that I have there. The possession number here is, it's not going to, it's going to determine whether it's a home or away roll on open rolls. So you don't really even have to really think about that. That will be your possession number. Then also you have this drop down rating here to see, because different leagues have different home possession ratings. So 1 to 11 is the basic, but then if you use the plus minus, that could change. If the league is, let's say, a 1 to 10 or a 1 to 12, you would set that based on where you're at with the league, and that's going to determine whether home or away gets it. So you have that possession number. Whether a minute goes off or not, this will say a Y or an N. So let's just roll a few until one shows up. So there's a Y. So that number would have been a 1 to 4 or 18 to 20. That checks the time off a minute. So this one keeps time for you. There's your offensive player, your defensive player, and there's the roll number there. So remember, 11 to 67 is offense, and 68 to 88 is defense. There's the split roll rating right there. If you need a second 1d10, it's over here. You check if the defender stops the shot. There's the shot rating. There's your on target rating, and there's the shot rating that you go against the keeper's card. So all of those numbers I just showed you on my roller are all here as well. A penalty kick, corner kick, check. That's where you remember you roll into those ranges. You got to check to see if the team allows it or not. That's right here. Your aerial battle is right in here. If you get a penalty kick shot, it's right here. This is also an extra 1D100. So this is a 1 to 100 roll here. So you can see that if you don't need a penalty kick, you just need an extra 1 to 100. You can see that. If you're playing plus minus, those numbers are down here. Again, just watch the videos or go to the Delphi forum. You can see that. And here's your adjustments that you have for fouls, P plus, P star, shot adjustments for home, road, and neutral. This number down here is actually a little bit different. I got to talk to Andy a little bit about that. My cards are 1 to 100 and not 11 to 88 on shots. So really it's 98, 99, 100 instead of 87 and 88. And that's it. You would roll the same way. So let's just do an open roll. Okay, the home team's going to get it. A minute doesn't go off, so it's not at that. Not a 1 to 4, 18 to 20. The play is 77, so you know that's a defensive roll for position 2. Position 277, that's a takeaway. So now Necaxa has the ball. You don't need to read that. It's not an open rating, so you don't need to read that. Necaxa has it. A minute goes off. It tracks the minute. 24, offense, position 4. That's a P star. So now you're in P star. So what happens in a P star? Necaxa keeps the ball. Unless the defense rolls it, 682 is a takeaway. So the game's played the same way on this roller as it is on my roller. This roller works fine. It's free. It works great. And that's how the game goes. Let's talk about one last piece. Subs. So how are subs worked into the game? Every player has an endurance rating. So endurance 45 means after the 45th, every player has an endurance rating. In the second half, on rolls of 1 or 20, which are hidden here, but you'll see the sub will come up here. On a 1 or 20, you're going to check the player who's active, either the offensive player or the defensive player, and see if they pass the endurance check or not. If the minute that we're in, for example, 46th minute, is higher than the endurance number, that player, should be subbed out. One of the things that we've talked about on the Delphi forum is increasing. So I play as played lineups, as played subs. So my subs are already built in. But if you don't want to do that, which most people don't, I've been in my tournament doing 2 checks. So I will check the. So if let's say, okay, let's roll. I'll explain it. I'm just going to keep rolling until it pops up, which could be a while because it's only a 10% chance. There. Okay, so sub. That pops up. We know we have to check for subs. I will do 2 checks to see if a sub's going to come out to help to get to those 5 sub checks. So the first players I'm going to check is position 8 for the offense. We'll just say it's the home position for the home team. It's a 60, so he passes. We're in minute 52, so he passes. He stays in the game. Position 10 for the defense. He's also a 60. He stays in. Then you want to do 2 more checks. So you can take this aerial battle here and take these 2 and check them as well. So position 6, 55, almost, but no, he stays in at position 2. He also passes. They all pass. So you can play the roll as normal, or if you want, you just do a no time roll because you checked all these numbers already. You don't want to reuse them. Do a no time roll and it goes again. Okay, home team, and you play on. So we'll keep going. Let's go for a while. I'm going to go get later in the game, maybe get a sub. There's a sub. Okay, 68 minute. Home team, position 7, hits a 50, so he would come out. His 50 is lower than 68. He gets subbed. Position 2, 80. He passes. He stays in. Oh, let's check 9 into 1 because we're checked twice. 65, he goes out. And Pena, he stays in because he passes. He's a 75. And that's how you do subs. You take them out, put subs in. As you play the game more and more, you'll figure out how you really want to manage those subs. I do positions that are similar. That way I'm not just overloading all the offensive players. Try to keep it the same. Then other players do 4 subs at 60 minutes or 4 subs at 75 minutes, or you save a sub and let you as a manager make a tactical sub in the last 10 minutes. However you want to do it. There's no really official rules on that. But that's kind of how the game is played. This is a slow play, and it was slow. But I really wanted to cover all these things. If you have questions, really, there's two really areas. The Delphi forum is a great place to ask questions. There's a lot of people on there, and a lot of people that are good at the game that can answer the questions. I'm there all the time. David's there a lot. We have a couple other players that play a lot that are on there that can answer questions really well. It also gives a different perspective than just mine. So just because it's the way I play doesn't mean that's the way you want to play. Got to play the way you like. You can also get on our Facebook forum, and I'll put that in the description below. Our Facebook forum is a good place to ask questions. Pretty much the same people, but I think we got more people in the Delphi forum. But that's it. Check out the Delphi forum. Check out the web page I've created, a link to all the custom leagues. There's a lot of leagues, 21 different leagues out there, men's and women's, Europe, United States, Brazil. So we have Europe, United States, we have men's, women's, we have some South America, we have Australia. So lots of different stuff out there. Ask questions. The game's free, doesn't cost anything, and that's really it. So if you guys have questions, ask. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next Friday Night Football video. Not sure who it's going to be yet, but that will be the next video I do. Otherwise, stay safe, have a good night, and have a good week. Talk to you later.